Cloud. All right, I think we are all set. All right. Hi guys, this is Christine Rooney, as you can tell, and we are doing our summer bookings call, and now Denise is saying that she does need an access code. So is there something here that I can stop the video? Hang on. I'm so sorry, honey. Give me one sec. Can I just invite her? Invite. No, I don't want to do that. She needs an access code. I'm just having nothing you can help me with, Mike, but thank you. Maybe if you want to fully book summer, I go into, oops, go into the details for that, maybe? Is there something in here? Meeting ID, but that's by telephone. I'm so sorry, Liza.
No, you're fine. Lay down.
I just know that I can't even try to help her undo the meeting. So if I can, I like having multiple technology here. Where will it show me an access? Stop video, invite, share screen, chat. Mute.
There you
Oh, someone get that dog. I'm not listening to him. See, like a squirrel across the front yard or something.
And now mine's growling.
Oh, is that funny? Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, good. She hasn't. All right. Let me try inviting from contact. I don't know if that will work or not. We'll go to invite. Choose your email service to send the invitation. Gmail. Uh-oh. You still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. All right. Took my screen somewhere else. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Please join our Zoom meeting. Denise.
Lay down.
Let's see if that works. Uh-oh, where'd you go?
Who?
You.
I'm still here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, I think, right? Pull that up. Oh, good. All right. And we're back to recording. So, all right, hopefully she can figure this out. I feel bad, but I want to respect your time too. We're already 10 minutes in. But anyway, so the first thing that somebody's, there's Denise. Hi, Denise. Glad you're here, honey. Just ignore the dog barking. All right, so I needed to do a drawing for the beach ball. So I have here, there were 3 people who participated. Stinks to be you if you didn't. But so I've got 3 pieces of paper here. I'm going to open up one, and this is the person who I'm going to send something to tomorrow. Oh, shocker. Shocker, Denise Stafford. No reaction from you. She obviously can't hear yet. This girl wins everything. All right. She really does. It's kind of sick. We went to one of our kickoff meetings, and she won, like the grill pan and the presses and, all the other stuff. She wins everything.
Are you talking about me?
I'm talking about you, Dolly. I am talking about you.
Woohoo! What'd I win?
I don't know. You'll have to wait and see what comes in the mail. All right.
Awesome sauce.
But yeah, congratulations, sweetheart. So I'm sorry for the trouble. But, all right.
I'm doing this
But I
off my
already told-
phone.
That's all right. Well, I'm glad you got on. I am recording it, so if you have problems, excuse me, you will be able to go back. But I already told Liza, sorry, this is my drink for the night. So I'm foregoing painkillers and I'm reaching for that. So, anyway, so congratulations to those of you who participated in the Beach Ball Challenge. I'll get that prize out to you. Some of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight, quite honestly, nothing is new. Okay, none of this is stuff that I sat around and like had this epiphany that came to me. They're either ideas that I've heard before, and I've been in the business for 20 something years. They're tweaks on ideas that I've heard. They're variations. There are a couple, actually there's one that is definitely further out of my comfort zone than I've done, but heck, I'm gonna try it. So what I want you guys to do is at least join with an open mind, okay? One of the things that I asked you to do before coming on the call was to set a goal, all right? And what I really hope that you all understand is that your goals are your goals. And if you have a goal for 3 shows a month or 30 shows a month, okay, that's individual to you. I'm here, your directors are here to help you reach that. All right, Denise is a member under Amanda's team, Liza is a member under Melissa's team, but we still do all work together. If you're not able to reach those people, you know, or you want further information on something, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. We do work very well together as a team. So I also want to make sure that you're aware, and I'm going to post it on our team page, is the cycle of sales. And it's one of those things that you kind of have to realize and accept when you're in the direct sales business. There is definitely a cycle. And in my 20 years, I have done the circle numerous times, and that's okay. All right, it happens in any sales business. And basically, you start off in a period, or you end, you know, one of the spots is growth, and that's when your business is really booming and going well. And Liza, you probably saw that with, like you were saying, with your virtual parties. You know, when you first started, you know, they were going really well, and they were, you know, they were moving and they were shaking and doing what you wanted them to do. And then you get to a place where you kind of plateau, all right, and things aren't really moving forward. They're not going backwards yet. They're just kind of staying the same. All right. The problem is if you stay in plateau for too long, you end up going down to decline. Okay. And when you go down to decline, that's when you have less parties. You end up really emotionally being less engaged, and, you know, on and on. And that's the point that you either have to make the decision to get off the circle or to rebuild. Okay. One of the things that I've found over the years is it is much easier to maintain, and you'll see it when I post it in the graphic, to maintain on the top half of that curve. So where if growth is up here and plateau is here, all right, when you get to that plateau, doing whatever it is that you can so you can get back over here to rebuild, to get back up to growth, as opposed to allowing yourself to go down to decline, all right? But it's a natural cycle. It's not a Pampered Chef phenomenon. It's not a, or it's not actually even just a direct sales, you know, phenomenon. It is something that goes on with every type of sales business, whether you're a brick and mortar, you know, you sell insurance, whatever it is, okay, it all has that cycle. So it's really important for you to realize where you are in that cycle, to accept it, and to figure out how to either stay or to move on to the next level with it. I like the example that I heard recently that it can't always be the harvest season. You know, there are 4 cycles in the cycle of sales, just like there are 4 seasons, all right? And it's not every season that you're harvesting, okay? You can't possibly be in that season of harvest, okay, for an entire year. It just isn't physically possible, and it's not possible with your business either. So one of the things that I have always found when you're in that plateau or in that decline, and Liza, I think that you and I are both kind of there right now, is that trying a new idea, trying something fresh, whether it's a new recipe, whether it's a new show idea, whether, you know, whatever it is that infuses some excitement into you, all right, you will in turn infuse that excitement into your business, into your host, into your customers, into your team members, you know, etc. So that's what I wanted to do tonight. Now, I have not tried every one of these ideas that we're going to talk about tonight, but there are things that I'm absolutely willing to try and will be trying. Okay, there are things that I have done in the past, and you know, we can absolutely talk about it. But you know, I want to let you know that I haven't done all these, and these are not certainly things, like I said, that I slept last night and they all came to me in an epiphany. Okay, this is because I am remaining focused to talk to other people, to stay engaged, and etc. So one of the things that I wanted to though ask you guys is, did everybody read through the newsletter? Did you both read through the newsletter, the e-newsletter that I sent this month? Were you
Honestly,
able?
Yes.
honestly, no.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to hit on a couple of things on there, so Janice, you'll bear with me. I promise I won't read you all 8 pages of it, but I'm going to be, you know, kind of referring to it. So one of the things that I want to make sure that you remember is that the summer really can be one of the best seasons to host a Pampered Chef party. Now, you and I and your husband, your significant other might be thinking, oh no, it's not, bullshit. You know, it's too busy, it's this, it's that, you know, on and on. You know what, it doesn't matter. It matters what you believe and what you're willing to believe. If you're willing to believe that this is the best time to host a party, then that's the kind of attitude that you're going to portray. That's the kind of excitement that you're going to put out there, and that's going to draw the results that you want, all right? If you are feeling like it's pulling teeth to get a party and you're doing this and you're doing that and it just isn't working, guess what? Yeah, that's what your results are going to be. You know, it's again, you know, the belief triangle. What you believe, what your attitude is, becomes your belief, becomes your reality, you know, and etc. So you really do have to come from the mindset that this is a good time. I mean, let's face it, it's fresh food time. All right, there's so much that we can do with fresh food market stuff. There is new products, all the ice cream products. If you don't want to go healthy, hell, we got a great way to go unhealthy right now, don't we? I think it's very funny that last summer we came out with all the solid products, and this summer we came out with all the ice cream products. But they're right on trend. Every place you look, ice cream and cold brew is all over the place. All right, so one of the things that you also have to do is when you're at your parties, all right, and whether you're doing virtual parties or you're doing at-home cooking parties, is take a look at the recipe that you're doing, please. It's one of those things that, you know, when I'm working with consultants one-on-one and they're like, oh, again, I had a $300 show. Well, what recipe are you doing? Oh, well, I made brownies in the brownie pan. Come on, guys. Okay, a brownie pan's going to sell itself. Let's be realistic. Okay, you need to look at the products that you're bringing to your show, the products that you're using, and the products that you're talking about. And if they don't add up to $700 at least, then don't bother doing that recipe. Okay, I want you to take a real look at it. I want you to take a sheet of paper. I want you to write down the retail prices of them. Because if you're showing enough high-priced products, all right, there's another. Okay, if you're showing them a brownie pan, they're going to pull the $14 out of their pocket and buy the brownie pan, right? So, you know, make sure that you're doing that. I'm not saying don't ever show some of the smaller products. You know, I joke all the time when somebody, you know, says that their favorite product is the mini serving spatula. I'm like, everybody go ahead and write that $6 item down on your order form, because yeah, you need it. All right, but we're going to move on and we're going to talk about something else now. All right, because I do believe that, you know, some of those smaller price items absolutely are a big cornerstone in our business. They represent the quality of the product very well, but you can't build a business selling $4 or $6 spatulas. Okay, let's you know, make sure that we're being real on it. I also want you to manage your schedule. All right, I personally find that weekend shows during April through September don't work. And I've been bullied into them, and I've done them, and then I come home and I complain to my husband about them, but I have no one to complain to except myself. All right, because I allowed someone to do that to me. Let's face it, there's too much going on. All right, I have too many other things that I could be doing, and so does everyone else. All right, it's especially true earlier in the spring, because as soon as you get that first nice day, people are like, screw that. I know I said I was going to that party at 2 o'clock, but it's nice out. I'm going to for a walk. I'm going to plant flowers. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. All right. People go away during the weekends. People, you know, have other commitments. I do not believe in doing summer weekend parties. You have to decide if that works for your family or not. That has just always been my situation. Monday through Thursday. All right. I don't even want a Friday night party during the summer. But again, that's me. I don't work full time, so maybe some people who work full time, that really is easier for them and they prefer to do that weekend. Just keep in mind, if you're going to do that, make sure that you aren't booking long weekends. All right, like a 4th of July weekend, those types of weekends. And make sure that you're starting early enough that if people have other plans on a Friday night, they can go out. All right, and that you are really host coaching with that host. Don't waste your Friday night and go there and find her mother and her grandmother sitting in her living room. All right, so make sure that you're working with them. And bring the cold brew pitcher. I'm finding that people who, once they see that and taste that coffee, are buying it. It's a $60 product, ladies. All right. And they're saying, well, I spend $4 a day, going through drive-through and picking up these coffees. People are loving it. If you don't have that product yet, you can get it on your supply order. You can get it at half price. Get it. Okay. Even if you don't do the ice cream maker and the other ones, all right, get that cold brew. Do you have it, Denise? Do you have the cold brew yet?
Yeah,
Yes.
it came right before I left for Washington.
Did you have a good time in Washington, by the way?
I'm still here.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that you're calling in from there. We'll talk about that later. Liza, do you have it?
I don't have it, but I have the ice cream maker. And like I said, I did a show last night, and just demonstrating the ice cream and making it, we sold 4 of them.
It's
Nice.
amazing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my son actually just dropped it off at the show that I'm doing on Thursday. Someone get the dog, please. Kevin. Oh my goodness, my son just yelled at me.
Oh, she's all right.
So thank you. You don't have to get mad at me. I know you're trying. Anyway, so we dropped it off because she's local. So she'll have it in her freezer overnight, so I don't have to worry about it. And we're going to do that. And because I'm really not completely back yet with my back injury, I can't stand and I can't do a demo. So we're going to do a fondue party with ice cream and cold brew. And the only recipe that I'm going to actually put together in front of them is the cheesy bruschetta. The cheesy bruschetta dip. What am I doing? I can sit in a chair and grate mozzarella and chop up tomatoes, and they all love that. So
Yeah, I will get the cold brew. I will tell you, I did a Stations instead because I can't stand long either.
Yep.
So having them standing there doing it, and I just kept observing and helping them, it was easier.
I think that, and it's funny, I think that people who are starting now, and I tell this to my new consultants, people who are starting now, I think have an easier time adjusting to the station style. Like I said, I'm an old dog. I've been doing this 20-something years. So like literally when I started, we did 3 recipes. 3 recipes. I demoed 3 recipes. It was like a 2-hour presentation. It was a stage show with everything that I owned, going with me. So I'm very glad for the changes that there are, but I have a little trouble giving up the control. But I'm going to have to, especially with one of the types of shows that I want to tell you about. But I'm just going to go very quickly through some of the things that they talked about in the newsletter. Go back and read more details, all right, because I really do, as much as I was going to cancel that subscription because I was so annoyed with that lady, this e-newsletter that she sent out this month or this week really was spot on, don't you think, Denise?
It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. So one of the things, all right, so there were 10 must-dos, all right, for in the newsletter. One of them was go back and revisit your list of 100. I know that when I was back in the day and I was doing my business, I kept that list of 100 completely up to date. I would go back, I would cross people off, I would add new people, on and on. I haven't looked at it in probably 2 years. So I sat down tonight and started going through it, and I actually found one of my original ones. It's completely different people. I mean, it really is. And in all honesty, it changes that much even in 6 months. All right. So if you haven't done that recently, pull it out. Spend even just 20 minutes a night for the next couple of nights, filling in as many names as you can on it, and then act on them, reach out to them. The other thing that I want you to do is think about is, do you get feedback when you're at your shows that people are having fun or they find it informative? Like, do you hear people saying, oh my God, I never knew that? Okay, that's what you want. You have to have that type of feedback. They need to have a reason for coming. They either need to be laughing all the way through it so they're having fun, or you need to be teaching them something because they can see what a food processor, the manual food processor is. They may not, excuse me, completely understand a rock, et cetera, and they're going to need your help with that. But you've got to put some value into what you're doing. And whether that means watching the Food Network, whether that means Google searching food trends, or one of the other options that we're going to talk about later is a farm to table type party. All right, know what's in season and know what tips you can give them about it. Like how to pick a pepper, which apples are best for baking. How to store herbs that after you bought them, like different things like that you can throw in a little tidbit. Like when I tell people about the garlic press, and that if you press the garlic, you're releasing all the oils, and so it's a stronger taste, it's a stronger flavor, on and on, but yet if you like a more subtle flavor, so if you use the slicer and you put thin slices, you still get the nice bite of garlic, but it's not that big overwhelming bit. People are like, what? I didn't know that. I thought I hated garlic. And suddenly, you have someone that wants to use garlic again. So make sure that you have those types of things. And if you don't know them, very easy to find out with the internet now, just Google searching. And are people in your area doing shows? I know we're pretty spread out these days. All right. But if there's someone even remotely in your area, go see a show of theirs. Go see what they're doing. If it's that or sitting home and watching Dancing with the Stars on repeat, why not go and watch somebody, and pick something up. I pick up a tip from everybody, from any show that I've ever watched. I always get something. Like people will say like, oh, I could never do this because I can't be as good as you. And I'm like, really? Because everything that I just said, I learned from another consultant. All right. Not one thing did I, come up with on my own. That's what's great about this business is that sharing. So, go and watch them. Are you making contacts every day? For the longevity of this business, if you are not making contacts, you will always be either in that plateau or in that decline mode. It's just the way that it works. All right. You've got to be making more contacts. And whether that means host coaching, whether that means customer care calls, calling up, doing out of the box calls, hi, you got that product delivered a month ago. Have you taken it out of the box? Can I help you with anything about it? They're simple, easy calls. They're not even 2 minutes long. All right. Yep, I got it. It's great. I don't have any questions. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, can you order me a blah? You don't even know how many times that happens. So if you're not making those, the baby. If you're not making those kind of calls, make sure you are. You're so funny.
Marley,
What?
it's my daughter's dog. She's making me crazy.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. So we got the context. And the other thing, that's in that, are you consistently host coaching? Are you telling these hosts, how to do things? They don't know. You can assume all that you want, that they've read the package, that they've checked out the website, that they've done all this. Guess what? They haven't. All right. They need to hear it from you. They need to know how to invite people. They need to know how to get outside orders. And the thing that I want you doing actually is not even talking to them so much about outside orders. If you're doing a cooking show, you want 12 people in the seats. If you're doing a virtual show, you want 30 people clicking going. Don't even get into any type of other incentive, for orders, bookings, anything until you have those criteria met. All right. After they have 30 people attending the show, then let's start talking about, if you're going to give her an extra party or an extra gift at the party. If you're doing a cooking show, she's confirmed 12 people in the seats. Guess what? I'm going to make you a chocolate lava cake. Something easy, something quick, something that's not too cost prohibitive for the host. I actually bring the ingredients for it. But, and actually, didn't say that. I bring the cake mixed up and I ask her to give me a cake mix back so that I have it for the next party. So that's costing her $1. So anyway, make sure, get the people in the chairs or the people clicking going, so that you have that. Encourage party crashers. And I've got a couple of graphics that I put both in my cooking show events and my virtual events, that literally are pictures of those people from the Real Housewives of Washington. Remember those people who crashed that White House dinner?
Yes.
Right? They literally have pictures of them that say, who are your favorite party crashers? All right. And I get so many comments on that. You know, people are always laughing. So, you know, tell your host that the best thing you can do for me is to bring someone in here that's out of your circle. All right. Because let's face it, the sooner that you can reach out into another realm of people, all right, the better. All right. Because otherwise, if you only get bookings from that host's best friend circle, you're going to see the same people over and over again. Okay. So you want strangers at every show. All right. Do you really want bookings? That's something that you really need to think about it. Are you self-sabotaging yourself? Probably not. Are you a procrastinator? Probably. I know I am. All right. You know, I say, oh, well, I can do that tomorrow, you know, on and on. I have to be very strict with myself because I can talk myself out of anything and I can creatively avoid just about anything. Because, oh, I need a flyer for that, don't I? All right. You've got to take control of that and squash it and make sure that you're doing what you need to do. And you disappear if you're disappointed. Someone kills me. All right. Because this is what people do. Oh, I can't attend that talk tonight because I had a really bad month, or you know, on and on. No, that's when you need these things. When you are struggling, when things aren't going the way that you planned, that's when you need to be on these calls. That's when you need to be at our meetings. That's when you need to come to talks. If it's on the other end and you're in that growth segment and you're having a fantabulous month, all right, then we need you. Okay, we need to hear from you and what you're doing to help those of us who are down in that other part of the cycle. So, and don't compare yourself to others. All right, you cannot possibly sit there and look at those stats. If your goal is to do 4 shows a month, you cannot look at a Melissa's, you know, Farrington's, you know, stats with $6,000 in sales because she's got a different set of goals. She's working towards something completely different. If your goals were for those 4 shows and you got your 4 shows and you're proud of them, hallelujah. Okay, so take out that judging yourself on everyone else. Don't ever do it. And make sure too that when you're talking about bookings, I hear people say this all the time, or I see it on their Facebook page. You know, excellent. You know, the host special is take 60% off of the Rock Crock. You get 60% off the Rock Crock. Good for you. You don't know what that means. Okay. But on the other hand, if you tell them that you're going to be able to get this Rock Crock, which by the way goes here, 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 you can make this, this, and this in it. You can do this, that, and that with it. Okay, and you're going to be able to get it for $34 if you host a party with me in April. Like, which sounds better? Okay, which are you more likely to bite on? All right. Sometimes you can look at a sales rack and it can say 60% off. Okay, but you go and you pick up something that, you know, was $800 to begin with, and suddenly that's not such a big deal, and you know, not such a great deal to you anymore. All right, so you need to put. But if they said, "Yep, this is only $24 now," you might be like, "Oh, okay, I have to have that." All right, so make sure that you're using the numbers. All right, then the e-newsletter goes into 118 different ideas. I'm not going over 118 different ideas. I hope that you will look through them, print them out, put a check mark next to the ones that you try. I challenge you, try to get through at least 20. You know, before the end of this week. All right, we have made it very easy for people to buy products without interacting with us, haven't we? Between the websites and the outlet sales and, you know, everything else. So getting those people, like I said, into the seat when you're doing cooking shows is really key. So please, if you take nothing else away, take that with you. All right, so here are some ideas that a bunch of other people are trying and having a lot of success with. Sometimes you just need to kind of reframe and rethink how you're doing something. All right, so themes. Excuse me. Let's face it, food can attract people. Just as some people will book for sales, some people are going to book on food. Okay, so you really do want to hit on both when you're doing a presentation or when you're doing an online party. All right, so, you know, it's a little harder on the online party to hit so much on the food, except you can talk about recipes that you're going to share or recipes that you're going to go live doing. All right, but they can bring up emotions in people and really strike a chord. Like if you said that you were going to do girls on the grill, or fajitas and margaritas, grilling and chilling, sipping sushi, you know, different things like that, that just kind of people start to think, oh, Oh, yeah, that sounds like fun. I always think of Pampered Chef parties as, the apple Danish ring or the chicken broccoli braid. So giving them that permission that we could do something like that. And just to, talk really briefly on, some of those different themes, like Girls on the Grill. I love that idea because how many girls or how many women do you know that are like, oh, my husband does the grilling, I don't touch it? Come on, why? Okay, grilling really isn't that difficult. Okay, take the power back. Let's do it ourselves, whether it's on our portable grill or it's on the grill that they have. Take the time to learn how to use a grill. Take the time to learn, what indirect and direct heating is and when you should use them on different things. Learn how to light up a charcoal grill. I watched a thing that Pampered Chef put on a Facebook Live on our Facebook, the Pampered Chef Facebook page. All right. It was, I don't know, like maybe 20 minutes long. And they actually brought home office employees out to like a back patio, and they had 2 different grilling stations going. And one of them was doing hamburgers and one of them was doing chicken fajitas. And while they were cooking, they showed how to use the grill on charcoal mode and what to do on and on. I never knew that. Okay. Because I grew up with a gas grill all my life. So just in that 20 minutes, I completely learned. I would feel confident now walking into someone's house and they're going, oh yeah, I have a charcoal grill. Okay, well, I know that I need to get that going a half hour before I want to cook because it takes that long, and I know how to do it now. I know how to do it in my that grill pan that we have. So take time to look those up. Fajitas and margaritas, that's been around forever. Grilling and chilling. I kind of liked this idea because they had the idea of doing the barbecue bacon sliders, which I was like, oh, I haven't heard of that recipe myself. Now I want it. That with the fresh pineapple salsa. I'm like, okay, yep, they've sold me, and I've been selling for how long? Okay, because I've never had either one of those recipes. They're both on the website. They both use over $700 worth of product. All right, so great, combination to do it. You can do nachos on the grill. The Mile High nachos are a great recipe. If you want to do them with chicken, you can grill the chicken right there on the griller. If you want to do them with beef, guess what? Throw that beef into your rock and throw it in the microwave. All right. You don't have to heat up the house. You don't have to do any of that. You put it in the microwave. You just mix and chop up the hamburger meat and throw that on the top as well. So they just, one thing, if you are going to do grill shows, do make sure that you're communicating with your host. Make sure that, if she's got gas, that, that there is enough gas in there. I do ask that they have it cleaned beforehand. Now, if I'm going to be doing charcoal, because I used to say, oh, you have charcoal grill, forget it, I'm not doing that. Now I won't have to, but, just make sure that they know what they need to have done before you get there. An ice cream social. A bunch of consultants posted in one of the groups that I'm in recently that they just did one at their house. All right, they just put out all the ice cream product. They cooked, they did the ice cream maker. They had cold brew coffee. That people put together ice cream sandwiches. They also made an ice cream cake, and everybody just came and had a good time. Like they stopped by. One of the people did it after a baseball game, so they had all the baseball moms over, just as an end of season, type thing, and they had them all in there. Another one just did it on a Saturday afternoon, and she had her friends come over. Oh, help me try out these products, that type of thing. So you do that, and especially if you're using the indoor-outdoor baskets, those are not going to sell out of the catalog. People need to see those. And when they do, and they get their hands on them and they're like, oh, I can put this in the dishwasher, I can hose this down, that's definitely selling them. That's one of those products that they definitely need to feel in order for them to buy. Sangrias and salads has been out for a very long time. There's a bunch of stuff on there. The Farm Fresh, I was amazed that when I started looking into some of the facts behind just different produces, like I said, starting to do some research on this so that I can do a value add at my shows, is that most of our food, this is so scary, is grown 1,500 miles away from where we live. Okay, at any time during the year, our food is traveling 1,500 miles to get to us. That's a lot. And in this time of year, our palates do change, and we do start, I don't know about you guys, but I know I do. I start craving more salads and fresh foods and on and on. I would certainly much rather go on a Saturday morning to the food market, the farm market, and get stuff there than buy the stuff, because every time now I walk through the produce department at Price Chopper, I'm like, that orange drive was 1,500 miles before it got to me. So, take your everyday totes, take some catalogs, go to the fresh food markets, find out what's current in season, find out what people are buying, even if you're not buying yourself, and then come home and figure out how you can make that and put that into your business. The Greek cucumber salad, by the way, which is one of our recipes, is phenomenal. People absolutely love it. It shows a ton of product. All right, so you can do that. Another theme that you can do is pamper your camper. On your news feeds, when you're on Facebook, you know who's camping, right? You know your friends who are camping. We've got many products that fit perfectly into that camping lifestyle. Make sure that you're, showing those to them. Another one that somebody suggested, and I'm definitely going to be doing some work on, is Sippin' Sushi. So she does a sushi party. And she says that rolling sushi really is not that difficult. She learned by watching a YouTube video. So that's what I plan on doing. She'll grill the chicken, and I'm going to post on our team page her shopping list and her tips for doing the show. But she gets tons of sales, tons of bookings. People love it. Sushi is hot, okay? People really enjoy sushi, all right? So it's a great way to incorporate what's current, all right, into your cooking shows. And instead of saying, hi, you want to have a party with me? You can say, can we have a sushi party? I'll come and show your friends how to make fresh sushi. Why not? So, and like I said, I will put that on there. Now, the other thing that people were talking about were like kind of different variations on different virtual parties, per se. Sorry, perched. And this one really intrigued me. It's a host of the month club, all right? And so basically, you were to start it in July, you ask for 6 people who are committed to being a host of the month. And basically these 6 people are in a group, and one of them every 6 months is the host, okay? They all agree to spend whatever number it is that you determine. You need to make sure that if you have 6, that at least if they only do the minimum, that it adds up to 200, so you always have a host, okay? But so you have that set up. When that person is the host for the month, they get to use the host benefits to purchase whatever they want. They also have the opportunity to collect more orders from their friends and et cetera if they want to, up their host benefits and, get more whatever. All right. Every month you're letting all 6 participants know what the host and guest specials are, so that maybe they want to raise their order to $75, so that they make sure that they get that. If they don't order by whatever your predetermined date is, this is just like, and Liza, you might be too young to remember this. Denise, you might also be. But remember the old Columbia Record Tape of the Month Club? Okay, so you joined the Columbia Tape of the Month Club by sending in 6 cents, and they sent you like 12 cassette tapes. All right. Actually, I think at one point I even got 8-track tape. And then every month they'd send you a postcard saying, oh, and this month you're going to get, Barry Williams top hits, and you either sent the postcard back saying, no, thank you, please send me this instead, or they sent you Barry Williams greatest hits. All right. So it's kind of along those lines. So each month you come up with a theme. So like, let's say if you start in July, that you make it a barbecue theme, and you pick one of the slider recipes from the website, and you set their purchase thing at $40. So if they don't tell you by the 9th of the month that they want X, Y, and Z, you send them whatever package you put together to go along with that burger recipe. Maybe it's the barbecue turner and the spice and the burger press. All right. As long as it's, right around that $40. They know that shipping and handling and tax will be added to that. They know it's going to be shipped directly to them. At least it has to be on my end. You guys may not be in direct ship, so you may not have to do that. But, this way you can market it, and tell them that this way you're buying a holiday gift once a month for the next 6 months. You're slowly adding to your collection. I mean, think about, I'm a Stitch Fit member. I love it. I don't know what they're sending me, and I only do it every 4 months. I don't know what they're sending me, but trust me, when that box comes, I am thrilled to death to go and open that thing up. I am in heaven. All right. people do it with Birchbox. This past Christmas, I did for 2 of my nieces, Ipsy. It was makeup. They got makeup samples. You know, they were on cloud 9. They thought that was the greatest thing ever. So, you know, until Pampered Chef, because Pampered Chef is going to come up with subscription-based program. I know it. Until they do, why not do it ourselves? All right. It's not that difficult. You would set up a separate group for them. They'd be in that group. You limit it, like I said, to 6. If you end up with 12, then you have 2 groups that are doing it. So what? I have lots of information that I'm going to post on our team wall about it, including a video from a girl from 31 who does this very successfully. Because one of the other things that I found, and Marna Ross said it, if any of you listened to Marna Ross's call, she gets a lot of ideas by basically going to YouTube and searching. Oh, thanks, I had water. Thank you. And basically searching booking ideas, 31, booking ideas, you know, whatever other Lip Sense or, you know, whatever other direct sales company. Party ideas, LuLaRoe, okay, like those type of things. So she sees what other companies are doing out there and what's being successful, and then she's implementing it. This Marna's a Pampered Chef person, of course, so she's implementing it for Pampered Chef. So I thought that was a really, really great idea too. I am going to post, like I said, a couple of links. Actually, I think maybe I'll just post all the notes to this, because it has the links and the notes that I took in preparing for tonight, so that you'll see them in there. But definitely check it out. It's a really rather interesting idea. And in there, it also has, like, somebody had posted a post that you can use, you know, to try to gather those 6 hosts and etc. So it has the work done for you. All right, so that you're not having to come up with it all from scratch. So, you know, I'll have that up there for you. Another idea, and I tried, and I'm actually doing this right now with 4 consultants from our team. I'm doing a mega host, a virtual mega host party. Because here was the thing. It was a LuLaRoe rep that Marna met, and she told Marna that she was doing 30 virtual parties a month. And Marna's an older lady. She's been with the company forever, extremely successful. And she's like, I can't even comprehend the idea of running 30 parties. But what this woman is doing is she's running them with 4 hosts in a party at a time. So she pins them against each other. Okay, so they're doing contests. All right, which host has the most sales, which host has the most interaction, which host has, you know, this or whatever to give. But she's only posting 1 time and reaching 4 different parties, which is pretty ingenious, don't you think? You know, to be able to, you know, granted, I do use Cinch Share, and so I am automatically sending it to, you know, 4 different groups at a time. But if you only have interaction from 3 or 4 people in each one of those parties, and now all of a sudden you've got 1 group and instead you've got 12 people interacting, you know, won't that multiply what sales are going to be, and even what people are seeing? So I'm definitely doing that from going forward. Virtual parties that book with me in July, I'm going to group 4 hosts together and do it like that. And you know, people do mega parties all the time as cooking shows. You know, I'm just going to implement it as that. And like I mentioned a little earlier, Denise, I'm not sure if you were with us when we started talking about it, but go live in your things. Do a, you know, even if you just do 10 minutes or so. I can hear myself echoing. I'm not sure why, but even if you just go 10 minutes.
It's probably me, Chris. I had to take the earbuds out.
Oh, okay. You all right?
And put you on speaker.
Okay. You all right?
Yeah, my battery is low, so.
Oh, gotcha.
And I don't have, on my phone, I can either charge or have headphones in.
Because you have an iPhone, don't you?
Yeah.
Why'd you go iPhone?
Yeah, you gotta love Motorola.
What happened to my Droid now?
I'm a Droid. I'm Motorola here, but it's the new one, and like the battery power is insane. I haven't charged it in 24 hours, but
Wow.
it's just messed up. I'm not thrilled with the phone, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm on a Zoom call.
Yes. So anyway, so go live. Those videos really do show a lot. Plus, what you want to do when you go live, tell your friends, anyone who's watching this, please share this.
Christine, it's very hard to hear with the echo.
It is. Denise, can you mute me or mute yourself?
I don't know. Let me try here.
That might be better. Right? Okay, good. All right. So anyway, so go live in those things. And then when you go live, and remind them a couple of times in case people join in, say, share this on your page. Please help me spread my business. Hit share. Okay. Marna, who is not a big presence on Facebook, her last one reached 1,700 people. Like, hello, all right, I don't have that many followers, so how great would that be? And then she's looking at online orders that came in because she publishes her web address on there. She was getting orders from people that she didn't know because they watched the video off of someone else's Facebook feed. So definitely that's something that I know that I'm going to be implementing, and I hope you will too. One of the other things that Marna has done for years, and I've said I'm going to implement and I haven't, but I think that I'm at that point, is she has come cook with me parties. Now, she views these not only as kind of a customer service and et cetera, but she also does get a lot of bookings and a lot of recruit leads from this. And basically what she does is she says, okay, you know, if she doesn't have a show, say that Thursday, or a show canceled, she says, okay, I'm going to have a come cook with me party. And she sends out a customer connection email. I'm going to have a come cook with me on Thursday, and we're going to be having an Italian, you know, extravaganza. So the first 12 people to message me or to RSVP get to come. She limits it at 12. She never goes over, you know, and whatever her limit has to be, you know, they come. She does it as a station style show. She picks 2 or 3 recipes. They all just basically cook together. She tells them BYOB, so they bring their own wine. She has name tags on everybody, you know, so she's got the 2 or 3 groups putting things together for 45 minutes. Then they sit down and they eat together, and they kind of go over the products that they used and what they liked and how they changed the recipes and on and on. And she makes sure that everybody walks out with a printout of, you know, a bunch of different recipes. I would do those electronically myself rather than handing somebody printouts. I feel like that's saying, here, throw this out for me in this day and age. But so that they would, you know, they walk away with that. You could give them a season's best if you want, on and on. And then she takes stuff that she has in her basement. This is the part my husband's going to love. And she takes stuff in her basement and she gives it away. All right. Trust me, I have more than enough in my basement to do so. Denise, you probably do also. Liza, you're more new to this, so you may not quite have so much yet, but eventually you will. And it doesn't have to be big things, you know, but you basically give them away. So they get a ticket for coming, they get a ticket for RSVPing, they get a ticket if they wash the products that they used. They, you know, whatever, you know, however you want to hand out the tickets. And then at the end, she walks up to each one of them, and so she's handing them out. She's like, oh, here's your ticket for this, here's your ticket for this, here's your ticket for that, blah, 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 blah. Okay? And then she says, if you want to place an order tonight, and there is absolutely no obligation to do so, but if you wanted to place an order tonight, you get another 3 tickets. Were you going to place an order? Okay, great. So here are your 3 tickets. Or no? Okay, whatever. But I'd love to give you more tickets. I'll give you 10 tickets if you book a party for tonight. All right? And she says half of them do. All right, and so then she rips off, she gives them the 10 tickets, and she gives away something that was in her basement taking up room anyway. She says that, you know, sometimes the sales are $1,000, sometimes the sales are $50. You know, it's not something that she counts on sales-wise, but she does count on it for bookings. So, you know, definitely something to try. And what I love about the idea is that, you know, so now let's say that you're making those contact calls, you know, that we talked about earlier, and reaching out to 3 people, and, oh, are you interested in hosting? Are you interested in, you know, blah, no. Okay, well, you know what? I'm having a cooking class and I have 1 spot left. You know, would you like to come and join me on, you know, blah, 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 and we're going to do an Italian, you know, feast and blah, blah. Oh, you know what I mean? So that's another thing that you can offer to people. For a while, I did that with my freezer meal workshops. Not doing freezer meal workshops anymore. Oh, thank God. But bless you if you are. But anyway, so it's just something else that you have in your repertoire to be able to offer people, and that you have set. So, you know, definitely give that a thought. couple of other booking ideas that people have done. You probably saw the 1 through 20 idea. Denise, I think you did it. I don't know if you did it, Liza. I did it. I booked 8 virtual parties from it. And you can do it however you want. Okay, basically you post on your wall or in your group, whatever it is. Pick a number from 1 to 20 if you love pampering. All right, and so then they post the number. And then you pick what that reward is. Some of them did it so that, you know, like if you said that it was 20, then you got 20 entries into a drawing for an ice cream the ice cream sandwich maker. But if you booked a party, you got it for free automatically regardless. So, you know, you can do something like that. I did it that if you picked the number 20, you got either free shipping, free direct shipping on an order of $75 or more plus a free gift, or you got the monthly special for $20, anything in the catalog $100 or less for $20. So basically their $60 item, or I'm sorry, their $100 item that with the 60% off would become 40, I was paying 20 of. All right.
But Christine, my question is, what if they don't want to book? Like, you know, you offer them that, and you know, they're like, okay, well, thanks, but
Okay,
you know, I don't want to
then
have another party.
that's fine. Okay, that was the option for them, or they could place an order and they could get free direct shipping. So
Okay.
I had people do all 3 actually. Some of them booked parties, some of them placed orders. Like I got probably $300 worth of orders, and then those other parties and other people said no. I responded to over 100 people. So
See, I put it on my wall, and I got 2 responses on that.
All right. Well, you might have to work with people that you're connecting with there.
Well, the thing is, I mean, here's my issue is, you know, like I don't want to keep going to the same crowd, and that's what's
Well, you
happening.
can't.
Is
You absolutely
you know
can.
so it's like, I mean, you know, the people that are on my wall are, you know, friends that see this, and I've actually just got a business page on it because I just basically figured like not everybody wants to keep seeing me on my business, you know, talk about my business. So I just have a business page that I talk about the business stuff on, and then my personal wall is my personal wall.
Yeah, I think that you kind of have to keep it going on your personal wall until you build enough interest on your business page, but that's my opinion. You know, that's kind of where I am at. I've backed off a lot on posting on my personal wall and do a lot more on my business, but I also have, you know, a lot of people in my business. So until you
Right,
have
no, and I try to move, you know, like because I also have a VIP group, which is a lot of people who were interested, you know, who showed interest from my personal wall on my VIP group. Or, you know, at least who want to see the posts, but those that don't want to be, you know, on there, I'm not going to subject them to.
No, certainly not. I get it. I get it. One of the other ideas that somebody had was a deal or no deal game. And I've seen this done in virtual parties, which I thought was kind of neat. And somebody actually has spent the time making all the suitcases and the outside of the suitcases and then what's in the inside of each suitcase. Oh, Madone, I can't even imagine people doing this. But Marna was talking about on her call that someone from her team does it with the red Solo cups, and she basically lines up the red Solo cups, and you know, so she goes live and she says, I'm going to go live and play deal or no deal at 8 o'clock tonight. So at 8 o'clock, first person that's on there says, you know, okay, first person to pick a cup number, you know, gets called. Okay, so let's say Liza, who happens to just be taking a sip out of what looks like a red Solo cup. There we go. Says, I'll take number 4, Christine. Okay, so all right, fine. So we open up number 4. Liza, number 4 says that you get a free rub. Would you like to claim that prize, or would you like to say no deal and pick another cup? And so then Liza gets to decide, what does she want to do? Does she want to take the free rub, or does she want to, you know, take a chance? And she says no deal. So then she gets one extra choice. So then her next choice is she picks up the cup, and it's, you know, get a free ice cream sandwich maker at your party when you host it in August. Okay, she's got to take that deal. All right, so it's, you know, kind of like the dice game, although you can make it how you want it. Obviously, you could say that she could reject that. My personal opinion, I would, just because I hate feeling like I tricked somebody into a party. All right, but it's working for people, and it's just another option. Another idea that I heard about recently was with Pamper Business. Now, don't get me wrong, Pamper Business, again, not a new idea, not something that I've never done before. But this was a neat little twist on it. What the person is doing, or the people, the directors that I know that are doing this, they're posting a thing on their wall or in their business page, whichever, and it says, I would like to come and pamper a business. Nominate a business that you either work at or like a lot, whatever, and tell me why I should pamper them and where they're located. And so people are posting, like, you know, all these different, you know, suggestions. Oh, you got to pamper my dentist. Oh, you have to come to us here at the post office. Oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. And then she picks one of those businesses and she goes and she does just like the regular Pamper a Business, where you drop off a recipe that's either served with or done on, you know, Pampered Chef material, something that you have to go back and pick up, and you drop off at order forms and catalogs as well. And you pick any of those orders up when you bring the stuff back, plus the person who nominated the business is now the host for whatever sales might have come out of that show. So I thought that was a really neat twist on it. And like I said, a lot of people are getting more traction on it, all right, because of it almost seems like an exclusivity thing. So there was, you know, kind of a chance, you know, a different take on that. Then, you know, one of the other ones that when they asked in a director group that I'm in about an old idea made new that they're having a lot of success with is an after hours show. And again, this is something I did, you know, back in the day and haven't done in quite some time, but where you basically show up at an office all set up to go with a pre-made recipe as they're getting out of work. And I did this at a lot of schools actually many years ago, where I would be there ready at 3:30. And so instead of going straight home, they would come into the staff lounge, they would get a treat that I made, they would see some of the products on and on, they would place orders and they would go. All right, so you can do that at offices as well, as long as the office approves of it. And you can do an after hours party that way. So those were just, you know, some of the ideas that, you know, I picked up from different research that I started doing recently, because, you know, one, between my back and everything else, I have to do things differently with my business. So I wanted to share them with you. I'd like to hear from you guys now. Do you have any either questions about stuff that we talked about or any ideas that are working for you? Something that you could share with us? Alrighty then. Was this helpful? Yes? It's so funny, both you guys are on mute, so all I see are these heads going up and down. And Gayatri's on a phone, so she can't even see you, just head bobbing.
Sorry. Yes,
No,
it was
you're
really
fine.
helpful. It was. It gave me more ideas that I didn't think of or couldn't think of or come up with.
Right.
So, I mean, and I can think of some variations. So now knowing have some of these ideas, now I can sit down and make my own variation that I'm more comfortable with doing and see
Good.
what I can do.
Absolutely. And make sure you share with us, you know, let us know back. You know, there's going to be a post that goes on our team page tomorrow. I want to know what you got out of this and what you're going to implement. I'm going to post, you know, the recording too, so that people who couldn't join us are here to see it too. But like, we just literally spent basically an hour, if we take away the 10 minutes, you know, playing with trying to get Denise on here. We spent an hour talking about different ways to book parties and different ways to do parties, you know, and I was kind of surprised with how many I was able to get down on paper. So I hope that it was helpful for you. I will post the link to this, and I just want to proofread my notes because I'm kind of fast and make sure that they're legible and hopefully spell checked. But then I'll post that too, because in this, in these notes that I took, I included links and attachments like to the sushi party and those type of things. So, all right. All right.
Christine,
Yes, dear.
thank you so much for the, you know, for the tips, because they are great ideas. I'm trying to implement them. I'm just struggling with kind of getting anything firm off of that.
Getting some traction from it. Yep.
It's been a rough month. Like, I mean, even people who've told me want to do July, like, just will not follow up, will not confirm that they've gotten the stuff. And I'm just like, okay, at this point, I'm just like, if I don't hear back from you, I'm not setting anything up, because I've already set up the groups and all of that. And like, unless you add the people to it, I'm not gonna, I don't know where to go. Like, I'm tired of calling, communicating, texting, whatever, to say, hey, can we do this kind of thing? I mean,
Are they
when
all
I do-
virtual, Skytree, or are they like, or are they cooking?
well, like this one is a referral from a party that I did, like maybe, I don't know, February or so.
Mhm.
It's her sister-in-law, and we've, like, she was super excited. She's hosted in the past, and she wanted to do an April one, and then April didn't work, and then she thought about doing May. May didn't work, and then we decided to do like end of June after her house was renovated, and I never heard back about that. I talked to her about 10 days ago, and I was like, hey, you know what? Why don't we just do the July? It's double rewards. Her first party, I guess, or her party last time she did it was a huge hit. So she was like, oh yeah, I can, I definitely get over my
Sure.
650.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's do it. I mean, she's already got all the stuff. I've emailed her, like done a lot of host coaching from the phone, when I did get hold of her, but like, she doesn't answer her call. She doesn't answer her text. Like my last, I think, message was basically like, I'm like, everything is set up. When you're ready or when you've added, message me, because I don't want to keep calling and calling. Like, I'm to the point where, you know what, if they don't want to do it, I can't.
You
Like,
can't. You
I
can't.
can't.
And, I think that would probably be the last message that I left.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you know what? It's not just with that host, though. It's like, I have another one, actually, who's also part of this mega, or mystery host party thing,
Mhm.
who, again, like, for months has been like, okay, I think I'll do it. I think she like did it with me, or had joined one of my parties in like October or November or December. I don't remember. And then, has been like, okay, I'll do it in the spring. I'll do it next month. I'll do it next month. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? At this point, I'm done. I'm like, because I'm finding that I'm not going to get too far with, like, even if they do go ahead and have it, it's
If
just
they
going to be
don't
one of
want
those,
it,
like,
exactly. If they're doing it for the sake of doing it, you're not going to get anything out of it, and they're not going to get anything out of it. And
yeah,
then
it's like pulling teeth. It's not worth it.
No, it absolutely isn't. And that's why I think you need to give yourself permission to bless and release, and literally make that phone call or that text that says, I thought this was something that you wanted. Perhaps something has changed. If I am wrong in that, let me know. Otherwise, please contact me when you're ready. Send.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm at. My
You have
problem
to be.
becomes, though, it's like I'm not coming up with any new contacts. Like, I don't know
and
how
that's
to.
that's what you need to work on. Instead of chasing these ones that are dead, you need to work on finding new ones. And out and about.
I'm trying. I mean, I've been, posting pampering businesses. I'm just, like, I'll talk to wherever I'm out and about. Actually, it was kind of funny. I was actually at Price Chopper, and I was wearing my Pampered Chef T-shirt, and I was like literally running in to get one thing, and some lady who was actually doing a demo there stopped me and said, "Oh, are you with Pampered Chef?" And I'm like, "Oh, do you sell Pampered Chef?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I've been looking for something. Do you have a card?" Like, I mean, that I haven't heard from her or anything like that, and maybe it was my bad. My bad where I didn't get her information, but
exactly.
I did give her a card.
I literally say, I'm so sorry, I don't have my business cards with you. But here, why don't you write down your contact information? I'll send you a catalog.
Okay.
All right. And I very rarely carry business cards because my idea of a more effective business card is my catalog, or at least the mini catalog.
Okay.
I would rather put my investment in those than business cards.
Okay. That's a good tip. Yeah, because, like, even with this mega host thing or the mystery party, like,
Gayatri is one of the consultants that's in the mystery, the multi-consultant or the multi-host party I was telling you guys about earlier.
So I have like that one order and then another one that
you have somebody who's interested in signing.
She's a tough one.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I think you remember her in terms of, do you remember she hosted one of my first parties and was like MIA the entire time?
I don't, but okay. It's just,
Like it was like I literally had signed on because I knew that I had hers and
Oh, okay.
another party that week, and she
Okay.
was like total MIA. Just nothing at all. Like I think we finally got it to qualify, but like it was like pulling teeth to get it to qualify.
All right.
And
Well, then we know that that's her personality. And again, we're not going to put all our eggs in that basket, right?
we're not. And even like I know that she's going to order a brownie pan because she had wanted it, she told me that even before she joined this party, but
Wasn't she
the
the one
order
who
hasn't
wanted
been
the
officially
spiralizer?
placed.
Or I don't remember. Or the
The
coffee.
order hasn't been officially placed, and she messaged me yesterday saying, "Oh, I want the Mason make and take jars because she's had them. I think she got them as part of her host benefits a year ago,
Okay.
and she wants the second one. But I know, like, I've offered to place the order for her, and I got oh no, I'll place it, and it's not officially there yet.
All right. Well, yeah, nothing that, if you keep putting your efforts forward on new contexts, you'll be fine. Okay. You need to bless and release the ones that aren't coming through as they promised.
So besides out and about, I mean, any suggestions for new contacts?
Well, definitely, get yourself involved in vendor fairs. I know that you were doing that one at the fresh market, and that ran its course. Look in your local papers and et cetera for other, vendor tables at craft fairs and things like that. Always asking for referrals, just reaching out in different avenues.
Okay.
I realize school is out, but I mean, your kids are involved with so many things. I would imagine that you've got some contacts through there too. So.
Again, I feel like, I mean, they know that I'm a consultant. If they don't want, I don't want to keep shoving that in their face. I mean, they know that, if they want to approach me on something, great. If, I invited all of them to my mega, the mystery hosts, and couldn't get anybody to join from there.
Okay. I don't want to cut you off from this, and I would like to continue discussing with you, but I feel I don't want to hold up Liza and Denise.
Yeah, of course.
Liza came right at 8:30 and et cetera. So I think maybe we should wrap up and let's you and I talk about, some time that you and I can discuss. I'm out almost all day tomorrow between physical therapy and doctor's appointments. But I'm around on Thursday, so let me know what might
message
work.
me. I mean, we don't need to discuss schedules
Okay.
here. So
Okay.
message me whenever, and we'll figure it out.
Okay. Liza, do you have anything that I can help you with before we say goodbye, or?
I like I said, I'm gonna go sit down and the next couple days after work, I'm just gonna see what I can come up with, and we'll give a couple a try, and hopefully I'll be able to report back in a week or so of some kind of success out of something.
Awesome. Denise, anything I can help you with, honey?
No, I know where to find you when I have questions.
Yes, you
Thank
do.
you, Chris.
Yes, you do. You're welcome,
Thank
honey.
you, Chris.
Hey, and guys, I want to encourage you for national conference, if going to Chicago is not a possibility, and I understand that, all right, at least subscribe to the live stream, all right, because even if you aren't able to watch it live, you'll be able to watch it later. Just seeing I don't even know how to describe it, the arena, and seeing the excitement with the new products announced and everything, like, you will feel at least part of it. It's way different than just joining excuse me, did we eat garlic at dinner? Really is repeating on me here. Sorry. And so just being able to, you feel a little more part of it. It's a little more exciting than opening up your emails and seeing what the new products are, and on and on. I think it's $40 or $50 to be able to see it. You can write it off on your taxes. You will not regret it. I'm going to Chicago. If anyone, in the next couple of days decides that they want to go, I think registration closes on the 1st. Or maybe just the early bird ends on the 1st. I don't know. There's something about the 1st. But, give it a thought. Okay. Definitely. I've never regretted going. I've always regretted not going. So, again, I understand if you can't make the trip, but at least do the live feed. So, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
guys. Good night. Thanks so much for being here.
Night.
Good night.